Hey guys, this is Kyle. Here is Ys Celceta no Jukai, also known as Ys Foliage Ocean in Celceta for the Playstation Vita. This is a game I've been waiting for a really long time and glad it's finally here. Definitely one of the reasons that I wanted a Vita. I'm going to go ahead and show off the basic gameplay in the game today, talk about it a little bit. I am about 6 hours in. This is my save here. I won't be spoiling anything. You won't really see anything as far as anything that will upset you spoiler-wise, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Mostly be a gameplay video here. I'll talk a little bit about the beginning of the game. So here we are. This is the first town in Ys Celceta, Kastnin. And this is basically where everything begins. So basically the story starts and Adol finds himself wandering around this town, Kastnin, and he's beat up and he looks like hell. And he has no idea who he is or what he's been doing. He doesn't have a clue. He's lost all of his memories. And he happens to run into someone who recognizes him. And they say, oh, you know, we saw you go out into the sea of trees. And he doesn't remember it at all. Going out into this sea of trees or anything like that. So anyway, he ends up at a bar and he ends up running into Duren here. And Duren is someone who had kind of known Adol just a little bit when he was in the town and knew he was heading out into the sea of trees. And so Adol basically explains everything to Duren, and they kind of become buddies. Anyway, at the very beginning of the game, they kind of team up to help some people in a mine. Got trapped by monsters. And this woman, who's kind of like a prime minister-ish type woman, finds out about that, and she then asks Adol if he will map out the sea of trees, basically Celceta no Jukai. And he agrees because he wants to find out exactly who he is, and he knows that going out there will recover his memories, and he wants to find out why he set out there in the first place. So you'll see here, this is essentially the world map here. And this is the beginning right here. This is Kastnin, where I am now. And this is the map that I've uncovered here, all the way up and over to here. And you'll see I have 29% map coverage. That's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this game so far. It's a first for an Ys game, is that you have map coverage. It almost is kind of like Castlevania Symphony of the Night-ish in a way, where it wants you to explore the entire map and get map coverage. And you actually get bonuses in-game for doing that, because you've been asked by this woman, Griselda, if you will go out and map out Celceta no Jukai, this area here. And so yeah, by doing that you get rewards, but you also are obviously advancing the game. So at the very beginning of the game you decide to set off for 2 points. One of them was over here. I've already completed that portion, and the other one is this purple flag here. So that will be the next area that I go to. Yeah, you're allowed to do those in either order, and it kind of gets the game started and flowing as far as the story goes. So this is a town. It looks maybe not unlike something you would have seen in Ys 7. Show you a little bit here. One of the really cool things about this game is it has kind of Kiseki series style quests. So you'll see here I've cleared all 4 of these, but if you head into these pubs you can actually accept these side missions. And these are things that obviously you don't have to do, but that you can get rewards for. Ys 7 had kind of a quest system of its own, but it wasn't quite as, I guess, controlled, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It was kind of all over the place. There were a ton of quests. In this game, they're kind of collected on these mission boards, and you can just choose what you want to do. As well as on your map, all quest NPCs are marked and quest locations are marked. It just feels a lot easier to want to get into the quests, to understand exactly what you need to do. So that's very cool. Obviously, you've got the typical stuff as far as weapon upgrading, buying new weapons, buying stuff like that. So I'm not going to bore you with that. We'll get out here and get into some of the gameplay here. The gameplay itself is not quite unlike Ys 7. It takes Ys 7's base, but actually builds quite a bit on it. At first it seems very, very similar, but you quickly come to find out that they've really found a nice balance, and they've really tightened it up really nicely. So you'll notice here it is fast and fun, like always. This is an Ys game. You have the same kind of node points here like Ys 7. You can see in the left side here what the items are that you get from that. Obviously you're picking up a lot of items. You can see as I'm playing, clouds roll overhead, day will change to night and back to day again. And that's a first for an Ys game as well, so very cool. So these are some skills I've got here. You'll see that says skill finish when I kill them with skills. That earns you a higher chance at rare items. You've also got different things like aerial combos, which is attacking and kind of juggling enemies in the air. And that also allows you to get bonuses for killing enemies. So, like that. It keeps you on your it keeps you on your toes as you're playing, because you can get bonuses even when you're just killing weak enemies. So, obviously these guys are quite weak. I'll get ahead and show you a little bit where I'm at right now. So in Ys 7 fashion, this is a party member system. I can flip between Adel and Duran at any time, as well as a third party member if I have one. I did have one earlier, however, he is gone now, so I have 2 members right now. But yeah, Adel uses a sword, which is typically slashing damage. And Duran uses grapple, which is typically blunt damage. And depending on the enemies, some enemies take more damage from one type of attack rather than another, and you can actually get bonuses for using the right kind of attack as well. They call it excellent kills. It's the excellent kill system. And so in Ys 7 you could get you could get obviously a damage bonus for doing it, but there weren't actual bonuses for it. So I'll head back here. We'll warp up a little bit. You can't warp from save point to save point. I guess they're not really save points. You can save anywhere, but you can warp between these heal points. But you can only warp between certain ones. They're color-coded. So it doesn't let you just warp anywhere and everywhere across the world map that you want to. It actually kind of makes sense. You'll see here I'm swimming in the water, which is kind of a first here for the Ys series as far as actual swimming goes. You can swim up and down and actually fight in the water as well. I hope you can hear the music pretty well, because as is typical fashion with Falcom games, period, in my opinion, they've got the best music in the business, and that holds true here. Very, very good soundtrack so far. I especially liked the music in the first dungeon that I played through. It was awesome. So, some very good music. You'll see now with Adel here, some of these enemies I'm hitting for yellow damage. Like I said, that's the excellent kill system I was talking about earlier. Let's see, where do I want to go here? Just head up this way a little bit. One thing I really do like about the skill system so far in this game, it seems like Ys 7's skill system was all over the place. There were a ton of skills, and you could just get them by equipping different weapons. In this game, you don't get new skills by equipping weapons. You get new skills by using the skills that you have. And so the skill progression, or the skill tree as it may be, is really, really nice, because the skills kind of flow into one another really well. You don't end up just spamming one skill over and over. For example, with Duran here, if I use he's got a backflip kick, which is alright, but I need to pull an enemy close to me or get close to an enemy. So if I flip kick into an enemy like that, and then proceed to backflip kick, it actually works out as a really nice little combo. So just show off some more of the areas here in the Sea of Trees. So obviously I've been to these areas before, but here's somewhere that I've never been. So you'll see now that in the top right corner there, it's actually uncovering the map as I go, which is very, very cool. In Ys 7, the maps were already all there for you. So in this, you get a real sense of adventure, especially because the environments are huge. They're really, really big. Another great addition to the game here. If you played Ys 7, you probably remember the flash guard system, where if you guard right when an enemy attacks you, you actually kind of stun the enemy for a sec and get a chance to do some good damage. In this game, flash guarding is back, but they also have flash dodging. If you dodge right when an enemy is about to attack you, the enemy, you kind of go into like a Matrix type slow motion. So it's really important to do on boss battles. I'll see if I can do it on some of these simpler enemies here. Show you what it's like. So like that, flash move. So now he's basically stunned or in slow motion, and I can basically take him out taking little or no damage. So it really adds to the action. On some of the bosses, I've done like 4 or 5 flash moves in a row and just totally been able to punish the boss. But the important part is that the window of opportunity for flash moving and flash guarding in this game is much smaller than it was in 7. In 7 it almost felt broken. It was too easy to do. But in this it's much harder to pull off. So I'm going to head back out of here. I want to make sure I don't spoil anything for you guys story-wise, and I'm pretty sure that this is where I need to go next. So just head back out. You can see that, yeah, I can dive down into the water here. There was a chest down there at the bottom of that pond. Take a look here at where I should go next. So yeah, as I showed you, if you hit select, you can pull up the whole world map. If you tap on this map icon in the top right, you can pull up your area map. And again, these are maps that you've uncovered as you've played through, so it's very cool. I'll head up this way. Why don't I take this down here? I'll see if I can head back into the first dungeon I was in, just show it off a little bit. Really dug it there, and the music was great. So you'll see already, I've shown already a wide variety of areas, which is pretty neat. You'll see that there's sunlight coming in here, on top of other weather-related things like the clouds. It's just really nice touches. I wouldn't say the graphics are phenomenal, but they're really good. Oh, and I screwed this up. This is actually an area that's kind of like a Lost Woods area type area, where you can get lost really easily. Let's see here. Why don't we head this way? So the same kind of enemy stamina system is back as well, where you can kind of stagger enemies at a certain point, and then you're able to do a lot of damage to them. It obviously comes in during boss battles pretty heavily. Let me see if I can remember the exact way to get through here. I'll do that. So I want to show off that dungeon on the other side if I can, even though I have already cleared it. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I should have came this way earlier. No. Let's see if I can get through this. Oh, not that way. Alright, there we go. So you can see another town in the distance there. So again, this is the first part of the story, I suppose. You get two places that you can go to, and I went there first. This isn't where I wanted to go. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So anyway, this is the first dungeon that I essentially played through here. Just show off a little bit of it. Obviously, I already played through it, so the puzzles and stuff are already solved. The enemies in here move really quickly, as you can see, but they're pretty weak. So anyway, this area was not unlike a water temple, I suppose. A little bit of it dealt with raising and lowering the water here. But anyway, yeah, just another area to show off kind of the variety of areas again in the game here. Very cool. Anyway, there you go. I think I'll end there for my first gameplay video of the game. Hope I showed off essentially all the systems in the game here. Hopefully you saw pretty much how the game plays. I'm really happy with it so far. It's been really, really fun. The music keeps you pumped, and I'm excited to put more time into it. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy. I'll be back with some more gameplay videos soon. Thanks for watching, guys.